Hey everybody, this video is about the steps you need to take at the end of your boil. Okay, I just finished my 60-minute boil with this particular batch of beer. I just added my final hop addition. So now it's time for me to cool this off just as quickly as I possibly can. Okay, I'm going to start by adding a gallon of water that I've had chilled. Had it in the freezer for a bit and then also in the refrigerator for a while too. So critical thing here is once I cool this off, anything that comes into contact with this wort needs to be sanitized. So when it was hot, it was fine to put whatever into it really. From here on out, I'm going to need to sanitize anything that comes into contact. So here goes the 1 gallon cold water addition. Now, I'm going to add my sanitized floating thermometer. That just came out of Star San. That's where the foam came from, Star San sanitizer. And I'm going to cover it with a sanitized lid. Okay, from here, I'm going to move this into an ice water bath in my sink. All right, so this is my ice water bath. And you'll notice to the left here, I've got my bucket of sanitizer. Now, I'm going to let this sit in here for 15 minutes, and then I'm going to check the temperature. I want the temperature to be down to 65 degrees before I put this into my fermenting bucket. My bucket is sanitized, and now it's time for me to pour the cooled wort into the fermenting bucket. Take the lid off, both lids. Okay, I'm going to lift this up. It's okay if you splash a little bit here. You don't want to splash outside of the bucket. There is going to be a layer of sediment on the bottom of this brew pot, and I want to leave as much of that sediment behind as I can, but I don't want to leave any of the beer behind. So I'd rather have more sediment and more beer than less beer and less sediment. So here we go. I'm going to pour it in. Okay, you can start to see it's more hops than anything else now, and I'm going to go ahead and stop it right there. So I'm going to leave that much behind. I'm going to go ahead and cover this for now, and then I'm going to go get some more of my drinking water to top this off to 2 gallons. Before I do that, though, I thought I'd show you some of the hop sludge that I left behind. It's not going to hurt if you get that in your beer, but it'll make your finished beer clearer if you can leave it in there. So now this label on our bucket here is the top of the label is actually the mark where we want you to fill the wort to. So it's hard for me to show this on camera. Usually what I do is I'll take a bright light and shine it on this side, and then from the inside I can see the mark, and I'll go ahead and pour this filtered drinking water up to that mark, and then it'll be time for me to add the yeast. I probably added about 1.5 quarts of water to top that off, maybe 2. All right, now it's time to finish this up. Next step is going to be to add our dried yeast. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the bucket, remove the bucket lid. This is my California ale yeast. I've also sanitized, I wiped this down with sanitizer, and I sanitized my scissors. Pretty simple here. Okay, the instructions on a lot of these packages of yeast will tell you to rehydrate. That's not going to be necessary, especially with these 2-gallon batches. So don't rehydrate it. You're just going to open it up and we're going to dump it straight into the beer. Wort, actually, it's not beer yet until it ferments. So that's it. We're done on the inside. We want to get that covered up. I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on the bucket. Snap it down tight. Okay, the last step here is going to be to insert my airlock. So this is a 3-piece airlock. I've got some of my drinking water here. I'm going to go ahead and pour that in. Okay. Now I could use Star San with this, and Star San's a no-rinse sanitizer. Filtered water or boiled water is fine too. Okay, then I've got the little float, which I drop in, and a lid. Snap that on. Then I'm just going to stick this into the bucket, into the stopper in the bucket. Now that's going to do it. This beer is finished as far as I'm concerned until it's ready to bottle. I'm going to put this in a spot where with a steady temperature of 65 degrees. That's ideal for this yeast. You do want to have fairly steady fermentation temperatures in that 65 to 70 degree range. Warmer temperatures will give you more yeast flavor, yeast character from the fermenting yeast. So shoot for 65 if you can. That's it for now. If you want to see the bottling process, go ahead and take a look at our video for that. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.